that the thing that I haven't had at all since this like whole like quarantine thing started was coffee. Like I haven't had any. And it just
How's that feel?
I just realized it today that, oh boy, I hate this. And I miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Look, I mean, you said earlier this semester that you were ready to do a caffeine purge.
I was, and you know what?
And now
Maybe
you're doing a forced caffeine purge.
Hey,
and
maybe
this is what you're needing this entire time. Maybe that's why we had the coronavirus.
Hey,
so
maybe
that you could work the caffeine out of your system.
You know, yeah, probably. That's probably it.
That's hilarious because the second thing that's on my list of things that I can talk about on this podcast for exuberant amounts of time is iced coffee.
Yeah.
That was literally the second thing I wrote down.
Dear diary, Chase let me talk about iced coffee on the podcast today.
Olivia got to wax poetic about the joys of cold brew coffee, and it made her very happy. It was a nice change of pace.
Yes. That'll be in the notes. It'll just be down at the bottom. Olivia, happy about iced coffee. I had some chip earlier, so it's like stuck in my throat. So I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm trying not to cough to cause fear. And also,
are you
just
gonna
because
cough through my microphone or something? Should I?
But that's
afraid?
Also just like gross because no one wants to hear coughing through a microphone.
I suppose so. That's probably bad podcasting. I assume drinking is also bad podcasting.
As long as you can't hear it.
Yeah. There's one of the podcasts I listen to that's much like this, just a kind of talk and give BS podcast. One of the guys on it is just like obsessed with drinking Coke Zero. It's his favorite drink.
Dude, Coke Zero's so good. It's the shit.
Okay, but he drinks it in cans, so like anytime he opens it, it's just like this psst. And they're like, oh man, grip it and rip it. Just grip it and rip it, bro. Oh, it's so good.
That's good.
Crisp podcasting.
That's good.
As my sister might say. It's crisp.
Speaking of crisp podcasting, welcome to Doing It Live.
Well, we got to figure out an intro, huh?
Hey, that was it. I wanted a cold open, and that's what we got.
Okay. That is completely valid.
It's
I could
valid.
hear that.
We could work on it. We can work on it. We'll get better in the future. Hi, guys. As I just said 5 seconds ago, welcome to Doing It Live. This is our podcast about just whatever we want, I guess. If you know who we are and we're listening, hello. But if you don't know who we are, I'm Chase, and this is my friend Olivia. And we had this idea to make a podcast because the owner of the local comic shop made one or was going to make one, and it created inspiration.
I mean, to be fair, this was an idea we had. Mostly you had, and then I jumped into it full-footed a couple months ago during one of our many, many commutes to and from school. Yeah.
So we commute to school like every single day or every other day. It's like a 45-minute drive in and 45 back. And, you know, it's not always filled with complete silence. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. I do spend a lot of time on my phone.
Yeah, you know what? And that's fine. So do I. Never mind. I'm the one driving.
Well, you shouldn't be. You do, but you shouldn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have to send 5 texts, an email, and also call my grandmother all at the same time while driving, okay?
I actually do think that has happened, yes.
You
call your mom at least every time.
I do call my mother because, you know, if I die on the road, she should know where I was.
Approximately.
Just the general gist of where I was or where I'm going, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my parents are the same way, but again, they put a tracker on my phone, so...
That's, you know, you can't be trusted, and this is something that I've said for as long as I've met you, I've known you.
It's not one of those faces, it's real shifty.
Yeah, just everything. Just like, nope, this person's not real, this person is fake, can't trust them.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So we're a bunch of nerdy weirdos that like video games and comic books and like theater. We're theater students as well. So
ergo making a podcast so that we could just talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to go probably the most complicated route of just starting a podcast for this.
It's, we could just like call and just, what's up? How are you? But no, it had to be a thing that we make.
But now it's performative, and so it's going to be better than just talking,
It's just
right?
going to be, yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so.
We could be so lucky.
Yeah. I came up with the name Doing It Live like a little bit ago. I honestly don't know where I got it from. It's a phrase that basically just, whenever we were in the shop building like a set or something, and it didn't go correctly and we needed to fix it, I would always just say, like, let's do it live, which just basically means improv on the spot or just go with the flow. So I just thought that was a cool idea for just like a full bullshittery podcast about talking about whatever we want. So that's where that comes from. So if people like it, cool. If they don't, cool.
That's their problem.
That's their problem.
Honestly.
Yeah, that definitely. So we got some stuff we want to talk about. Liv, if you want to go first, because the thing I want to talk about, I could literally write a book about. So you go.
That's dangerous because now I have like a list. So
I love that you have a list. I really do.
I have a list for everything, so maybe I should just talk about my obsession with list making. So let me add that to the list.
Add that to the list. Add it to the list.
I am by absolutely no means of the definition an organized person. I try really hard, but as you can see, kind of from just the backdrop that is my bedroom, me and organization aren't really best friends. I work well with having systems in place, but
yeah.
Oh boy.
Do I
not know how to set those up? So I actually have a pretty bad obsession with making lists. I recently got back into the bullet journaling system, which is something I could also talk about for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I have laid out every day of my life for the past 3 months as a to-do list. And crazy enough,
that just doesn't
helped.
I'm glad that it's helping, but that just doesn't sound fun.
Well, it doesn't sound fun, but okay, I agree, it doesn't sound fun, but having written everything out so that I know these are the 10 things I need to achieve, and here are the things that have multiple steps, so I can achieve those steps.
You can achieve those steps, yeah.
I can cheese those steps real good.
You said a cheese, and I thought it was funny, so.
Yeah. So, like, even, so I work at a dairy part-time in the evenings, 6 days a week. And even though I know how to do my job properly, I've been doing it for 2 years as of next week, I get really distracted at work. I get distracted at all of my jobs. I'm relatively bad at staying focused on anything. I'm a fidgety kid. But writing out like, step 1, sanitize everything. Step 2, milk the cows. Step 3, feed the calves. Step 4, sanitize and go home. And then sub-steps of like, this is the cow I have to milk first, or these are the calves I have to feed this amount. Even though I know all that stuff in my head, having it written out and being able to visualize it and have a tangible reminder actually helps me a lot. Which is weird.
Hey, man, admit. Whatever works. What
works. And, with a super hectic college schedule, that it helps a lot, actually, to have everything
I don't know what you're talking about.
One of us has a hectic college schedule, and the other one of us ignores it.
Who are we talking about exactly? Ignore? I don't ignore. What are you talking about? Listen. I thought about writing my research paper today for lighting design. I did. I thought about it.
You noodled on it.
I gave it a good noodle. You know, I gave the research paper a good noodle. I looked into the heart and soul of the paper itself and thought this is the plan. And then I played Resident Evil 3 again, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wrote out a list of everything I needed to get done this week, including, let me flip back to it, like, the middle of this week became a new month, so everything can't be in a perfect order. Like,
hey, happy 420.
420 for a whole month. It's so cool.
I know.
We're living through a, international pandemic. I can't properly appreciate a whole month of 420, and this makes me extremely upset.
You know?
Yeah. Well, like, I had a lot to get done this week, and I got all of the stuff that has due dates this week done, but my art teacher made the mistake of removing the due dates for all of our assignments and then assigning, like, 4 giant drawings and a painting all within, like, 2 weeks of each other. And I'm like, these aren't getting done until the end of the month, Deborah. This is post-birthday stuff.
Deborah, let's be real, girlfriend. This shit ain't gonna get done, okay? This isn't gonna happen.
One of these assignments was just straight up doodling with a pen. Like, fill 1 page full of doodles, and I still didn't do it because it doesn't have a due date. Which is why I have to make lists for myself and give myself hard deadlines. Even though, as evidenced by this week, and the fact that I haven't painted in 2 weeks for my painting class, it sometimes works.
Yeah. Listen, I feel like at this point, a lot of the teachers are just kind of, I don't want to say giving up, because they are working very hard and trying their hardest. But then there's like some situations where they're like, this isn't due until the end of the semester now,
or no longer matters.
Just take the exam home. Like, have the weekend to work on it.
Never come back to school because every building in the state is closed.
You should sign this piece of paper so you get your money back for this credit that you physically will not be able to earn.
Oh, no, remember, we can't get money back on those.
Oh, what? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I earned it before we had to
so I mean,
bunker down,
good.
So I'm fine.
You're fine. I'm just going to get, like, an F in this class.
F. I don't know.
Respects.
F to pay respects. Put it in chat.
In the chat.
Is there? I don't think the recording sees the chat.
Probably not, but I will put an F in the chat regardless.
Hey, thanks. There it is.
There it is.
It's a solid F right there.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about the coronavirus pandemic isolation quite yet. That's on my list.
You don't, or you do?
Not yet.
No, I will.
It still stresses me out. So
hey,
once it's a little bit more the norm, I definitely think we could joke about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's fine. I don't care.
Unless that was on your list of things that you wanted to talk about, in which case I will write some jokes real quick.
Okay, so because I don't plan as well as you, even though this whole podcast was my idea, and even like the setup of like, let's just talk about stuff and prep it, I was like, oh shoot, I got nothing at all. But one thing I can talk about is Resident Evil 3, because the remake of that came out. What's the date today?
Today's the 4th.
Technically yesterday it came out. I was able to start playing it at like 8 p.m. on the 2nd because like of like times and regions and whatnot. Huge redoing of the original Resident Evil 3 from back in 1998. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's so good.
Okay, for people like me who have never played a Resident Evil game, do you want to just like bare bones it for me real quick?
Yeah. So Resident Evil used to be at least a camera fixed, almost like the cameras were like the security cameras in rooms.
Oh.
And that was your perspective all the time. And you would
have the really weird camera angles that like you couldn't see the entire room even though you were walking in it.
Yeah, and then controls were really clunky and bad, but they were bad by design because if the controls were good, then the game would be really easy. and you shoot zombies, and it's about a global pandemic.
Oh no, it's timely.
I know. Ooh, there's a bit in the new RE3 right at the beginning that just like, oh no, I don't know if this aged very well, even though this just came out. But anyways, yeah. So the Resident Evil series is literally just like you're walking through spooky, weird places that have dumb puzzles that are required to like open doors, and like this police station and the door to enter like the chief's office requires a key that has a clover on it, and like there's weird zombies and weird mutants and stuff. And generally there's always like one big hulking dude that's kind of chasing you around.
So it's just Wasilla.
It's just Wasilla, yeah. Like Joe decided it's time to come in and just do his thing in Raccoon City, and he's doing great. He's doing really good.
Proud of him.
Yeah, so they remade Resident Evil 2 in last year, and they changed the camera angle to be third person, so it's just like a shooter, like a third person shooter, kind of like, you know, Last of Us or anything like that. It's very much more like Resident Evil 4, which was the first game in the series to do that. And Resident Evil 2 Remake was amazing. It's one of my favorite games ever. And then, you know, here's Resident Evil 3, and it's much more action-y than horror.
Oh, okay.
Now, which is a thing that the Resident Evil series like struggled with for a very long time, because Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3 were like horror games, and then 4 was like suspenseful action game, and then 5 and 6 are action games and aren't not scary in any way whatsoever. But also 6 is horrible and bad, and then they made a bad multiplayer game, and the series has been kind of going through a bit of a rough one, and then they just finally started getting their shit back together, which makes me happy.
Okay. So the timeline here is it's Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
No, there's no 8 yet. Okay,
so 7, and then they remade
2
and now 3.
Yes. There's some spin-offs in there as well.
Okay, because for some reason I thought it was like a Kingdom Hearts
no
situation.
It's like
where
the
they
same
like
characters.
Released a ton of games and then like, and here's number 3.
Yeah, no. It's a remake of the third one that came out in 98. Completely redone. Like, it's just a new game. And everyone that's reviewing it and playing it that has a lot of experience with the original RE3, which I don't, will tell you this is like not the same game at all. Like, the only comparisons are the characters are the same, and the bad guy that's chasing you down is the same character. Like, otherwise it's a very drastic game with like different locations and stuff that you go into, which is like, I'm fine with that. Resident Evil 2 Remake was very much more of like a closer to home, where it's like, this is a new game, but basically all the puzzles are in the same place but have different solutions, and layouts different, but like, yeah, so they're changing things up.
As someone who plays a bit more video games than me, do you think that that's a good move in a remaster, or not so much?
I think it depends. Like, the people that will like talk about Resident Evil 3, the original, and talk about how amazing it is, may have issues with it. But also, if you like Resident Evil 3, you're gonna like this new one. It's just real good. What is happening here? Oh, hey, look, that's what that does. Okay.
What'd you just figure out?
I was just pushing buttons on my laptop, and the camera perspective changed, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want that.
Oh, yeah, you can click in on it to either make it like full screen or...
Yeah. So
there it goes, full screen for me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with this game. And I can share my screen.
Maybe. Oh, well,
you're being chased by this guy the entire game.
Okay, I have your window right in front of the guy.
This dude.
He looks like a friendly chap.
This is Nemesis. This is what he looks like in the new game. He used to look like this. Not as scary. But now he's got like this weird sideways nose, and he's got like a face on the side of his face, and his teeth are huge.
Yeah, that happens to rabbits. That's why you give them things to chew on.
Yeah.
We need to get this man a stick right now, immediately.
Yeah. This dude is relentless and just aggressively chases you the entire like first half of the game.
Okay.
He will just pop out of nowhere and just mess up your shit.
Okay, cool. That.
And it's fucking scary.
What? The guy that chases you in a horror game is scary?
I know. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it myself, but it's true. It's absolutely true.
That is buck wild. Okay.
I know. Yeah, I'm playing that. One thing about the Resident Evil series that's always been the case and continues to be is speed runs. And it's built into the game. Like there's literally a trophy in the new one to beat it in under 2 hours.
Wow.
Which I got last night.
Oh, that's right.
Hour and 57 minutes.
Ooh, close.
I know. But yeah, so the games are all about like, the first time you play through it, it's very like atmospheric and you're just kind of feeling it out. And also I'm big scaredy baby with horror games. So like there's a whole section in a hospital that's just dark and it's just really just like, I don't like this. So I'm just walking slowly. I'm not running anywhere. I'm just like, where are you? And
you're like Elmer Fudd, like, I'm hunting rabbits.
Yeah. And then there's this whole bit where you go into this maze and these gross ass spiders are chasing you. And I'm just like, nope, I hate it. I hate this so much.
No longer as afraid of spiders as I used to be, but still that concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's but playthrough 1, those fears are kind of gone. And then you go through it like a second time and you're just like, all right, so what's like, now that I know kind of how to play this game, let me play it again. And like the second playthrough is, for me at least, always a way more fun than the first. And then the third one is, all right, so what's the route? What is the optimal path from A to Z through this entire game so that you can get through it really fast? So like playthrough number 1, I think was 5 hours and 30 minutes. And then I played it a second time the next day and I cut that in half. And it was about like 2:45 or 2:30. And then I did it a third time and I was just under the time. But they do fun stuff to like help you, like to incentivize you to play it a lot. There's this whole like shop in the game that with points that you earn for like earning achievements, you can buy weapons that you can just start with, including an infinite ammo rocket launcher.
Okay.
It's real hokey and stupid.
Yeah. It sounds like my kind of broken though.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be broken. So then basically it's like, all right, so you played through this game on normal. You've probably beaten this game on hard. Now you got to just beat the other 2 modes, but how the hell do you do that?
Rocket launcher.
You use giant rocket launcher. And that's how I got through playthrough 4 at an hour and 20 minutes.
How many times did you play through this game?
I've played it 5 times.
Okay.
It's like once you know how to play it, it's real short.
Okay. That makes sense.
No, wait. I only played it 4. The hour and 20 playthrough is the last one I played. I didn't play it at all today because Not yet. I gotta work out. There's a bit in there where I'm like, oh, I know I can shorten my time a little bit. So I'll just do that.
Nice.
No, but it's fun. The game's real good. I still think the Resident Evil 2 remake is better, but this is still a good game. Don't do this to 4. Just keep 4 as it is. 4 is the best game ever made.
Even I've heard good things about Resident Evil 4, and I don't really have many other friends that play horror games, so
There's so
I'm
many
going to
games.
agree with you there just by association.
There are so many games that would not exist if that game did not come out. Just straight up. But I will leave it there. That's what I'm dealing with. That's my day. I did some drawings, but now I'm hanging out. What's up with you?
I legit just cleaned today. I went to work and then I came back and I laid in bed for like 20 minutes and I was like, God damn it, we should probably record this podcast before I put it off any longer because I'm just so tired.
What are you talking about? We were delaying the podcast. This was the plan.
Yes, this
all
was
along.
The exact plan for sure.
This was never not the plan.
Yeah, but I mean, as much as like we could have done this yesterday because my sister ended up going to work and I took a really long time to make her cake. Man, it was great to have a real day off. I didn't have to go to work. I didn't have any commitments other than make my sister a cake and feel bad about not working on this podcast. Sorry. And I legit just sat at the kitchen table and drew for like 8 hours straight.
Hey, that's a lot. That's a long time. That's good.
I not only got like 10 drawings character design wise done, I also noodled out a bunch of new stuff for a story I've been working on for the past like 6 months. It was ridiculously productive. And I'd like to say I feel rested, but I was up till 1 a.m. celebrating my sister's 18th birthday. So you win some, you lose some. I could have taken a nap.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been amazing.
Hey, that sounds like a good day to me.
Yeah, but today has just been cleaning.
Yes, I understand. My day will be cleaning because I decide whenever I do art, my room becomes a disaster.
That explains why my room's just the way it is.
Yeah,
because it's all art 24/7, baby.
Geniuses never clean or something. I don't know.
If you are a creative, you need to be with somebody who's not the same kind of creative so that they'll pick up after your shit. And then when they're being creative in their way, you'll pick up after them. And then it's just the perfect symbiotic relationship.
That's a good way to do it.
Like that.
Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah. No, that works. That works.
Or just hire a maid.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Just
get rich, hire a maid.
Get rich, hire a maid. They'll be like, I can't come over because I'm being quarantined. And they're like, well, I guess I don't have a maid.
We're thinking post-quarantine, Chase. Post-quarantine.
Post-quarantine. Sure.
Post-quarantine, yeah.
Got it. No, it's a good plan. I like it.
I'm fortunate enough to be moving in maybe with my sister who is a bit of a neat freak if that ever happens, so haha.
Like in a different room?
Yeah, I've been gearing up to switch rooms for about 8 months now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
I'm actually largely packed up. You can't tell from the background here.
You've got like an array of like blankets or something. What is like?
That's my other sister's bed. I share a room with my younger sister.
Okay.
My younger-est sister. So that's her bed. That's all that. And then I've got my video games.
You got Funko. I see some Funkos up there.
Yeah, my Funko collection, like all 6 of the Funkos I have. And then basically all of my tabletop role-playing stuff up there, including all of my D&D manuals and grocery sacks so that I can use them as weights when I'm working out. Because hashtag quarantine. It's swole for initiative, right?
That's good. That's the title of the podcast today.
It's new. Today, episode 1, swole for initiative.
Yep, that's
Which would be great if your topic were tabletop role-playing games and mine was working out. So maybe we just need to put that title on the back burner. I'm writing it down. Okay.
All right. This is all going in.
It's episode 1. If this is not polished enough for people, they can suck it up.
Excuse me, I require perfection.
suck it.
Swole for initiative.
I just came up with that. I'm super proud.
You should be. You should be. I think you're gonna like one of the birthday presents I got you.
Oh, fear.
I think you will. It's not gonna show up for a while, unfortunately. It's gonna miss your birthday by like a week and a half.
That's okay.
But but like,
do you know how
it's pretty
tempting
good.
it is to walk over and grab your present to show you? It's super tempting.
You can't do that. I mean, you could, but you can't.
I could, but it'd ruin the surprise.
Yeah.
Of, birthday shenanigans. I guess I'll have to drop it off next week. It's
the ruining the surprise of you'll just show it to me in the video chat on our birthday.
See, yeah, because remember I mentioned our gifts kind of coordinate, so we could video chat and do like a live unboxing.
Happy Easter. Here's our unboxing.
Episode 2, Happy Birthday.
See, this is why I needed you to be in this, because you can just come up with the really bad pun names, because that's episode 2 right there.
We're going to record on our respective birthday, because we do, for everybody's information, share a birthday.
Yeah. But that's like a holiday, though.
It's also a holiday, technically, yes.
Does your family do that holiday?
Yeah, my family is one of those families that celebrates Easter. Usually we have dinner with my granddad, but he is actually doing his 2-week self-quarantine in his house, like not allowed to leave the house because he just flew in from out of town last week.
Mm-hmm.
So, not doing that this year. It'll probably be watch a live stream sermon in my PJs on the couch.
Yeah.
Watch the younger siblings hunt for Easter eggs.
But you just have Adventure Zone in one ear and art tutorials in the other.
I definitely haven't done that during church ever. I don't
Never.
know what you're talking about.
Blasphemy.
Listening to something else when I'm supposed to be at church, Chase.
I remember. I have a vivid. It's been years since I've been to church. I got a specific age where I just told my parents, like, I don't really want to do this anymore, and they were like, okay, sure. But I remember being super young. I was like 5 or 6, and I just remember sitting in the pews at the church where I used to go to. And I just remember like pulling my mom's arm, and I'm just like saying as loud as I could, and everyone heard,
"Oh no,
Ma, this is boring."
That's on brand.
I was like, Mom, this is boring. Can we go to the bouncy castle?
Oh my God,
and my mom is just like, no, we cannot. Stop. It's like, fine.
You're embarrassing me.
And I also was always the person that they had, like, I don't even know I can't remember what was on them, but they always had like little booklets behind the pews that had like lines and all this stuff. Like,
yeah, the hymnals.
Right? The hymnals. And I just draw on them all day.
Oh no, Chase.
I was allowed to. I was allowed to.
That's horrifying.
They didn't tell me not to.
Yeah. My church doesn't have pews. We just have like rows of chairs that are considerably more comfortable than pews.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have hymnals, and we bring our own Bibles because there's nowhere to store them there. And so the concept of going to the church and drawing on a hymnal is like...
Maybe it wasn't a hymnal. It was, I don't know what it was. It was just like these little, they're like little notepads that they had, but there was like other things on it other than just lines. Like I think of like checkbooks almost.
Oh. Just the church having a bunch of blank checks?
Yeah, as you do. Just like, hey, just in case you feel like it, here's a check already written out for $500 million. You just need your name.
Just give us $5 million.
Just give it to us, and you know what? I was about to go real hard into religious crap, and I don't think that's a good idea.
Probably not. Episode 1, let's not radicalize it too much.
Yeah, let's just split.
I think we have some. I think we both
middle.
have similar opinions on some religious stuff and different opinions on others, and should probably not episode 1, not virtual fist
episode
fight.
2 on Easter though.
Touché. It's not a bad idea.
I'm just saying. It's the time. It's the right time.
Mm-hmm. No. Definitely. It's like Spring Festivus, right?
Yeah, something like that. Hey, listen, I'm just busy collecting eggs on my island, okay?
I haven't played Animal Crossing in almost 6 days.
Oh my gosh, how are you breathing?
I got really busy and then depressed and then now just busy again.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know where my charger is for my Switch.
Oh, no. Can't you just steal the dock, right? Just steal the cable from the dock.
I could do that, but it's actually like super wired in behind our entertainment system in the living room.
Yeah.
So I might just like pop it out in the car while I'm at work. Because we have a car charger for the Switch. I just have to find that.
I do like that you have a dedicated Switch charger in the car.
Yeah, we got in like one of those like an accessory pack for the Switch.
Yeah.
And so it's the Mario Mystery Cube.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Use the Switch in the car. Don't judge me.
Never.
Step off.
I would never judge you.
Ever.
Stop texting me. Leave me alone.
That's me at everybody.
Everybody.
Just leave me alone.
No. Anything else you want to talk about? What else you got?
I got
on your list.
Well, I've got collaborative storytelling. I was reminded of a book that I rented from the library when I was like 16, and I can't remember the name of it or the author. And I've thought about it like every day for like the last 8 months. No joke. I think about it constantly. I can't remember it. Can't find it anywhere. Bullet journaling, iced coffee, isolation, tabletop role-playing games, lists, which I did talk about, so I should mark that off. This is just the beginnings. Like knitting and stuff. I guess I could add that to my list too.
Have you done much prep for Monster of the Week?
Not yet. I want to finish up with you and Jacob. Ideally, I actually want to try to get done before Wednesday. That way, Wednesday we can just dedicate it to making new characters and familiarizing ourselves with each other, because we're adding a hunter. So,
yeah,
I was gonna text you about that because it seems like a silly thing to talk about on the podcast.
I don't care. Yeah, you can text. We can broadcast our private conversations live on the internet.
I mean, what is privacy if not a social construct?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. But I mean, one day, I think doing like a Monster of the Week podcast or tabletop role-playing game live play, actual play podcast, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I think that would be totally dope to do.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that's also like the beauty of like the idea of this podcast is that, we're just talking and hanging out this episode, but like episode 2, as we just said, is like a big unboxing, and we're going to talk about like birthday shenanigans and whatnot, as shenanigans as those gins can get when you're stuck. It's not
that was a phrase even remotely.
No, I mean, I was trying to make it. It didn't work.
You'll have to shenan again.
God. Yep, you're right. I don't know why I even try. You win. You win every time.
I am the pun master, and I say that now, but I will not be able to come up with any more puns from here on out because I've said it.
You say
Mark
that.
my words.
You say that with a grin on your face and a medal for championship, but also a bag on your head because you're.
I'm also very ashamed of my pun skills. Yes.
You have 2 watches on because it's always time to pun.
Oh, what's this? It's pun time.
Pun time. Pun time. No, yeah, but that's again, like that's the beauty of this podcast, I think, is like I said, we're just hanging out now. Episode 2 is like a weird like birthday party, and then episode 3 is like read like
Let's read some Shakespeare.
let's read some Shakespeare because that's what we like, you know.
Good old Shakespeare.
They released the whole script for the Spider-Verse movie as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can just read that, and it has all of the direction in it as well. And it's so cool.
Technically, it would be legal to record the whole thing.
I don't know. We could record bits.
Yeah.
And pieces. We could do it's like a segment, right? We do one bit of it, and then the next segment we do in the next episode or something. I don't know.
That would be cool.
But then also like we could do an episode of podcast where it's like, hey, we're gonna do a one-off in 5e or Monster of the Week or something like that.
We're going to play, oh shit, Bigfoot stole my car with my friend's birthday present inside. An actual game that I have the actual rules for.
I remember you telling me about that, and that's
that Sexy
just,
Battle Wizards as well. I've
Sexy Battle Wizards. There's the Wendy's one.
The Wendy's one that's basically just 5e for fast food.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
What else? I know I have like a lot of really good ones saved. Lasers and Feelings.
I don't know that one. That's the only one that you've said that I don't know what you're talking about.
There is a Carly Rae Jepsen version
of
Lasers and Feelings that I just don't think have any friends that would play that with me, except maybe Brighton and Lydia from UAA.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but someday.
I was just playing over Zoom last night. We were doing a fibbage and like Jackbox night with a couple people.
Why didn't you invite me to that?
Because I thought you were busy. I thought you were at work.
No, okay. Friday's my only night off.
But you were. It was your birthday. I knew that I wasn't going to try to bother you because I knew you were doing things.
My birthdaying that was making a cake, shopping. Seriously.
And then Drew for 8 hours.
I spent so much money on her. I cannot believe how much I take after my dad insofar as buying so many just random gifts.
Yeah.
It's insane. My poor wallet.
I mean, when it comes to like gifts for me, what'll happen is like somebody will remind me, hey, you should get this person a gift. And then I'll be like, okay. And then 5 minutes later, something will be bought. And then like they'll look at the person that suggested that will be like, did you just buy something? I was like, yeah, I just bought a gift for them. It's like, did you think about it? It's like, yeah, I bought it. It's there.
It takes you that long?
I just bought a thing.
It's just like the problem is I'm usually so bad at buying gifts, and then I'll just go to the store and be like, here is a set financial limit. My mom was like, $40 max. From my wallet, you can buy your sister gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and turned around and spent like another $60 on her of my own money. It was like, what am I doing?
I don't know.
What am I doing? The girl already got AirPods. Like, I didn't need to top this. But here I am at Fred Meyer's, basket in hand during a national pandemic.
Buying a horse.
Buying a candle and a bunch of photography stuff. What am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
Spending money, apparently.
Try to be a good sister. That's what you're trying to do.
Trying to win her over so that when I move in, it's not a total culture shock for her.
I don't know. You're kind of like the one to like, I'm just gonna hide here.
Yeah, I mean, we're splitting up the room in half so that I get the half that doesn't have a window.
Mm-hmm. So are you guys actually gonna like put a tape line down on the ground?
No, we're building a wall.
Oh, you're actually like just building a wall.
Yeah, it's like 2x4 and plywood wall, like a stage wall. Just right down the middle. And then basically splitting one average-sized room into 2 smaller dorm rooms. And
that's
then,
not as comically interesting as what I wanted, which was just tape on the wall, because that's what I did with my sister.
We did that. I used to share a room with Isabella, and I also used to share a room for a while with Isabella and my older sister Maya. And we did the tape line. And Maya just straight up moved out. Like, she moved all of her stuff into one of the unfinished rooms in our house that, like, has school storage, like, school stuff storage, and was just like, no more of this. No more of this nonsense. So then Bella and I tape lined our room, and that went about as well as you could expect. Badly. So just walls, and then once I have walls, then I can, like, actually hang posters up instead of just having, like, shelf, TV, giant bed, shelf, window.
You'll have room for one poster.
I will have room for one poster.
One poster. You have to choose that poster wisely.
Singular poster.
You have to think about it.
I'm actually not putting up a poster. I'm going to do yarn storage.
Yeah, or you could just contemplate the poster, right? And you can explain to me exactly why it's going to be Edward from Twilight.
Don't call me out like that. It's not going to be Edward from Twilight. It might be.
Probably is.
Hey, it's going to be better than the giant Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's that my sister currently has up, so...
What? That's an interesting poster to have.
Yeah, we got, like, giant creepy googly eyes and put them on his eyes.
It's weird.
Very.
I don't like that. That's
I'll take a picture, I'll send it to you.
It's weird.
Not my favorite.
That's odd.
It occurs to me we should probably, if we're gonna market this, also probably put together a Twitter. And I should probably make a Twitter for public use.
Public use.
One that I won't choke you out over looking at.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Choke me. What?
What?
Who?
Choke you out.
What?
Us?
You never got to tell that story to people at UAA.
Damn it, I never did.
You never did. Because that happened and then we never went back.
Gonna hijack Dan's class on Tuesday, be like, y'all never gonna believe what happened.
It's like, they're like, but you have to put it in the context that this was weeks ago and not like the day before. They're like, you guys, that's not social distancing. That's not social distancing. It's like, no, 2 weeks ago, I beat the living shit out of Chase.
I didn't beat the living shit out of
you. I know you.
I just made it incredibly hard for you to breathe.
It's funnier when they're both good. They're both funny.
Very good.
They're both funny.
It was just a great situation.
It's good. I would say elaborate, but I actually like the mystery behind the specifics.
Maybe our 420th episode, right?
Yeah, 420th or the 69th episode. That's sooner.
That is sooner.
It's sooner. Or it just depends on how often we film this, because it could be like 7 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling like weekly is not bad. I think
a week.
I think
maybe.
We both got a lot to talk about. We could make it interesting and then add more bits so that we don't run out of just off the head material.
Yeah, there's that one bit. That one bit I was telling you about. It's a good bit.
The one with your pal?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, It's gonna be so great if it happens.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that would be good. A nice plot twist.
And if people are listening and watching at this right now, give suggestions. I'd like to hear suggestions on stuff we can talk about or things to do.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just going to get like weeks upon weeks of me reviewing other podcasts and telling you to listen to them, which is probably not what you're here for.
I mean, all I'm going to say is look forward to episode 2, which we will probably
be up by the 15th then.
Probably. Look forward to episode 2 where it'll be called Final Fantasy VII Remake, the podcast. And I thought
it was going to happen.
It's also a birthday podcast.
I don't know anything about Final Fantasy, okay?
Listen.
One of these things I can get more excited for than the other.
Birthday podcast is fine.
Final Fantasy Week 3.
No, there's no time. It has to be
Wait.
both.
Okay. I can't make a pun from that. Okay, I'll work on it.
I have faith in you. I think you'll figure it out.
My last brain cell. It's just like, no.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
No. It's just, pew. Au revoir.
Well, I think we're actually at a good length for episode 1.
Yeah, this ain't bad.
It's not too bad. Like 50 minutes, an hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks y'all for watching. I said y'all because dang 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 dang.
Yeah. So if you are enjoying this, I know we only have 1 episode out so far, but like, comment, subscribe. If this is going up on YouTube,
Smash that like button.
Don't remember to hit that bell.
Hit the bell.
Get notifications. If you're hip with the jive.
Yo,
and
dude,
wherever you're listening to this, like, tell your friends if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, also tell your friends. Sometimes it's good to laugh about things that aren't funny.
Hey, I'm imagining a scene, right?
Oh,
we're in the park, right? And this guy's walking up to you with a trench coat.
I don't like where this is going.
No, I don't like where it's going either. But hear me out. This guy is.
But you're going there.
He just goes up and he just says, "Hey, are you hip with the jive? Do you know what the kids?" And they're like, "I don't know." And then he just pulls out his phone and it's a link to our podcast. He's like, "You listen to this.
Listen to this.
Hey, listen to this. If you are so, as the kids say, hip." Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep, this has been Doing It Live.
Bye.
Bye.